Everyone was so injured that they could barely stay on their feet. They started accepting their fate. It was the end for the hunters when it seemed that all hope was fading. But at the very last moment, shadows erupted from the depths of the battlefield. Sung Jinwoo's shadow soldiers burst forth as if straight out of a horror movie. Beacon, who had no time to comprehend what was happening before Sung Jinwoo himself appeared, atop one of the buildings, a true legendary hero who arrived via shadow exchange right into the epicenter of the battle. The cameraman who captured the chaos and the hunters, overwhelmed by confusion, could not believe their eyes. Igris, swinging a massive sword like a spinning Beyblade, charged into the fight, while Iron swiftly dispatched insects as if they owed him a massive debt. Tusk, turning those tiny foes into ground meat, made it clear that the true master of this dungeon had already entered the fray. The team of hunters was completely bewildered, and Four Eyes was trying to comprehend the presence of Sung Jinwoo, unaware that before them stood the general of this insane shadow army. In the city, G and Mr. Song were perplexed by the sudden disappearance of the broadcast. The president and inspector, gripped by anxiety, tried to figure out what had happened to the hunters at the network station. The broadcast was cut to avoid showing the hunters being annihilated. The director tried to call the cameraman, but the signal was lost. Sung Jinwoo ordered Iron to use a taunt, and boom! All the ants swarmed towards him as if he had insulted their queen. Along with Igris, he unleashed a root on the enemy insects, while Tusk raised a shield to protect the bewildered and battered hunters. Beak, firing questions like at a press conference, was ordered to shut up and drink a potion. Explanations would follow later. Dongwook doubted that the potion could heal him, but Sung Jinwoo, wasting no time, told him to simply drink it, and soon Dongwook was restored like a brand new action figure. However, Sha-Hien was in such a dire state that even the potion refused to help her, so Sung Jinwoo ordered them to carry her and keep behind him. He would handle the impending threat himself. At that moment, a wave of ants descended upon the battlefield. Back at the association, the president tried to get an update, but no one could provide an answer. A huge black ant had cut off all communications, including with the Japanese squad. President Go ordered all medical and rescue teams to be put on standby, and one of the veterans, weakened by age, pleaded for the safety of every participant in battle. Meanwhile, Jinna was hitting the television, thinking the device was broken, while her mother told her that wouldn't help. And Genius switched to watching the stream on a Japanese Navy ship. Ooh, stealth. The captain reported that contact with Go-2 was lost. It turned out that a super powerful monster had added Goo's head to its collection. The Japanese leader, furiously calling Goo useless, was outraged at the loss of 7 rank 10 hunters, but upon hearing that the monster had returned to the ant nest, he smirked and declared that Koreans were doomed to perish. Wow. And Japan would remain on top, and no one could wait to see his mustache fly back along with the remnants of the enemy. While Sung Jinwoo's elite generals were throwing a real party, the basic shadows fought the ants. Sung Jinwoo was about to strengthen his army using shadow extraction, but all eyes were on him. His secret had already been exposed. He warned the hunters that he was about to go full savage and ordered them to stay behind. Tusk asked them to keep quiet about what they were about to witness, and just at that moment, as he was about to perform the exchange, something incredible happened. The ants stepped aside as if bowing down before the king of insects. And indeed, Beru returned after having humiliated the loudmouth Go-2. Even Sung Jinwoo's shadow army froze in bewilderment, as if asking, "Who is this man?" The atmosphere shifted, and everyone felt the power of a new force. A giant cockroach, erupting in fury, exclaimed that the king was not outside, and asked, "Isn't the true king here?" Sung Jinwoo realized that before him stood the very monster that had erased the shadow placed on Go-2, and as he stepped forward, the hunters clutched their hands in fear. No one could determine whose aura was more terrifying, his or Beru's. The showdown that everyone had been waiting for began. The giant cockroach asked if Sung Jinwoo was the king of humans, and he merely laughed and said, "You're just a talking insect." Beru proclaimed his powerful aura, then let out a cry capable of scattering the hunters, but Sung Jinwoo remained unfazed. "But bro, you smell worse than gym socks in July," Sung Jinwoo retorted, while Cha-Hien, drenched in sweat, thought that even he wouldn't be able to handle this monster. After numerous attempts to restore the connection, the broadcast finally resumed. The director demanded that the broadcast be restored, while his assistant objected, "Are you out of your mind? If something goes wrong, we won't be able to filter out the inappropriate footage." But the director didn't listen. Better to shock the audience than lose the ratings. Everyone was stunned. Gee, Mr. Song, everyone who had ever fought alongside Sung Jinwoo watched this with their mouths agape. His sister was confused. Just a few minutes ago, he had said he was going to buy something, and now he was fighting in hell. The president even snapped his chair in half from excitement. Jiao wondered, how did he even get to Ju? But fate had already been sealed. Beru delivered a crushing right hook, and Shahi marveled at why this so-called mage was so close. Bu initially skeptically claimed that Sung Jinwoo was too weak to be a king, but his expression changed when he activated Dominator Touch, pulverizing Bu as if he were tossing out garbage, and then delivered a meteor punch, nearly connecting. Bu managed to dodge at the last second. Amid the battle, Dongwook asked Baekhyun if Sung Jinwoo was truly a mage. But by then, no one knew what was happening. Bu came back swinging with blows reminiscent of Thor's hammer, but Sung Jinwoo deflected them like a light slap. The cameraman, gripped by anxiety, could barely keep his footing as the real fight gained momentum. Sung Jinwoo and Beru exchanged blows as if they had been rivals since childhood. Then Sung Jinwoo delivered a strike that sent Beru 10 blocks away. Beru exclaimed, "What madness is this, man?" And attacking again, Sung Jinwoo intercepted the blow midair, landing a precise hit on his face. Blood began to flow from Beru's nose like Sanji at the sight of a bikini model, but Bu was no longer joking. With a barely noticeable cut, Bu injected a poison capable of incapacitating even a rhinoceros with such poison. Anyone was doomed, he boasted, displaying his powerful mandibles. However, just before everything went dark, Sung Jinwoo grabbed his wrist and struck with divine force, cracking Beru's armor and hurling him into the wall. Four Eyes, in shock, could not believe that Sung Jinwoo could move like that, but BX had seen enough madness not to even blink. "Jinwoo," he said, "is that your ace?" And within a few seconds, the system purged all the poison from his body. Sung Jinwoo declared that the fight needed to be finished as soon as possible, or Chahi would not survive. He delivered a brutal blow, but Bu, dodging nimbly, realized that nothing was working. Beru activated his final form. His exoskeleton began to evolve like Digimon, and now this cockroach became 5,000 times more invulnerable. Before Sung Jinwoo summoned his demon monarch daggers, crackling with dark lightning like fresh boss loot, he tried to slice Beru, but Beru parried the blow as if it were a training opponent. Before the fight escalated into a whirlwind of strikes, reminiscent of a Dragon Ball battle on Fast Forward Miss for a moment, and your head could end up on the floor. Beru summoned icy spikes, possibly looted from a Japanese rank S hunter, and suddenly the fight took to the air, with debris falling as if from a shattered stage. Beru realized that Sung Jinwoo's speed not only matched but exceeded all expectations, as if he were downloading new moves in real time. Their blows were so rapid that the laws of physics seemed to be broken in slow motion. One could not keep up with them. It was peak anime. Sung Jinwoo broke through Beru's defense and unleashed a series of strikes on his abdomen. Then, skillfully wielding two daggers, sliced the giant cockroach as if it owed rent. But Beru did not give up. He tried to slam Sung Jinwoo into the ground and deliver a crushing blow to his eyes. However, in the face of brutality, the fatal strike skill evolved into mutilation, and the hero turned Beru into shredded greens. The blows rained down so quickly that Beru himself could not recover. Beru attempted to regenerate his strength behind an icy armor, but Sung Jinwoo, full of determination, delivered a blow that shattered his body like shards of glass. At that moment, Beru, as if falling into a deep pit, screamed for reinforcements, but his team could no longer compare to the arrival of Sung Jinwoo's shadow generals, ready to exterminate every last threat. Even Kaisel appeared like the final boss from a gacha banner. Orcs burst into formation, and Tusk hurled a fireball, tearing open the ant nest like a can of soda. In panic, Beru screamed, "Nothing adds up." Isn't he supposed to be the GOAT? Why does this guy in black jeans and a hoodie look like the final boss? Attempting to take flight, Beru tried to escape, but Jinwoo grabbed him.